Good afternoon. How are you? I hope everybody is in good cheers and spirits. What about your former materials? Everything you have copied? I hope. If you prepared in the correct way, you can send it to me in the email ID. I can correct and revert you. As you know, our topic language and grammar. I deal the area of grammar. In the last day we discussed certain schools of grammar, and slowly we reached the sentence structure, and the total grammar area we divide into 3 areas. All right, grammar important areas. This is only a revising the last topic. All right, we discussed the pause, then synthesis. All right, synthesis, then analysis. All right, and we ended slowly to pause. What is called pause in traditional grammar? Parts of speeches, and which are the that again we divided. All right, into 9 groups. All right. Pronoun, noun, pronoun, then adj, one group. All right, then we'll get verb, then adverb, then preposition. All right, preposition, another group, another preposition. Then you will get noun, pronoun, adj, verb, adverb, preposition. Then you will get conjunction. Then you will get interjection. Then you will get determinants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All these that we discussed, and we took a noun, and we related to noun. We studied a definition. We got P to A plus T. All right, one formula that you studied last. Topic number 1. Second, we studied a category of noun that you studied. All these area again coming in the unit number 1. Categories, what is called proper noun, then common noun, then collective noun, then abstract noun, then material noun, like this that you studied. Then third category related to number system. All right, first we ended to C and UC. C means countable and uncountable. Then other rules. All right, how you can make a P from, all right, P from S. All right, means P plural form from singular concept. All these areas that we discuss slowly we reach. And now next topic related to this is called N is equal to NGC. All right, nouns, property, what is called number system, gender system, case system. And regarding number system, we related to first topic, countables and uncountables. Now we go to this number system. Again you have certain rules like how you can write plural form from singular form. Then again to gender system. Gender system is very easy to follow. How many gender forms available? Any idea? Any idea that you got? Gender system, all right, you can copy, you can formulate like this. First one is masculine, second one is feminine, third one is neuter. All right, neuter gender. All right, then common gender. 4 important areas that already studied in the higher secondary and high school level, but we make according to the modern grammar 3 to 4 frameworks by which you remember. You can easily study. M stands for masculine. So like this, a frame that you keep in your notebook. Gender is equal to MFNC. M stands for masculine. How you write masculine? A male. Masculine means male. You will write boy. All right. You will get masculine. You write M. You write girl. All right. You write F. Female. Feminine. Female or feminine. How to do? Then how to do neuter? How can you identify neuter? Simple. That already studied in the high school. Neuter means no life at all. An object or a thing that has no life at all can be easily identified neuter. You write a table. An example, table. You will write N. Right, neuter. All right. Then common. Common may be, all right, animated nouns with life, but cannot easily to be separated or cannot be easily identified whether masculine or feminine. Such nouns or such PP2AT will be. PP2AT will be. Persons, place, animal, things like. All nouns will be, which cannot be easily identified as male or female. That can be common. For example, you write one example, student. I take a very simple examples, student. Maybe girl, maybe boy, but we call it is common gender. So, N is equal to NGC. That N stands for number system. G stands for gender system. Then third one, C is case system. That will ready to come. So, how to identify? Suppose you get one sentence. I will tell you another example. So, you copied? Okay. Now, you take one example. All right. Example, you take John, all right, has a pen. One example. All right. John has a pen. John has a pen. John, S is equal to N. What N? Modern grammarians call it NP. We call it NP. N is equal to which one? Proper noun. Then proper noun explained, analyzed. Then later, step by step you come. After proper noun, what gender is that? This is male gender. Like that you have to analyze. Once you locate a subject, you take a subject, will be always a noun. Am I right? S will be always a noun. And this noun will be, you justify category, whether proper, whether common, whether collective, whether abstract, like that you analyze, then later jump into the next step, whether gender masculine or feminine. Related to verb, no problem, a pen. You take a pen, that is O, is equal to N, this is a noun form, then pen, which category it comes? Masculine, feminine, common, like gender, neuter, then automatically you will get this is neuter gender. So, analysis is over. Then third steps, like there are so many steps that we follow to take change, interchange our gender system. Step number 1. All right. Step number 1, you add ES, ESS. That is a technique. All these frames and all these rules, step by step you keep down in your memory. One is adding ESS to identify feminine from masculine. For example, you take one line, you add ES, you will get lioness. Certainly, like so many examples are there. Poet, you add ES, you will get a poetess. You take a prince, you add ES, you will get a princess. That is called step number 1. Then step number 2. What is step number 2? Change the word itself, opposite gender. That is called opposite. All right, what is called? You write a girl. All right, you got girl, you will get a boy. Opposite gender, you can easily find. Then feminine, boy and girl, change the word. What is called change the word? You get a cock, you will get a hen. Like another third step is feminine compounds. All right, feminine compounds. That you have to keep down in your memory. feminine compound. Compound word you change into general gender system. Example, stepfather. Stepfather. You will write stepmother. That is two words together combined. So compound, and this compound can be identified. Milkman, you will change into milkmaid. Like that, you can easily write. So this step 1, 2, 3 that you keep in mind. This is called gender system. So what you have to do once you get a change? The question coming, example I will give you. How you can write change, interchange the gender system. Example, alright, example you write boy, alright, has a cock. One example, you change these all possible nouns into other gender system. Not a particular one you change. Once they ask you to change, you identify as V and O. S and O will be always noun. All these nouns can be converted to other gender forms. Automatically, this boy will be here. Girl has no change. A cock will be a hen. This is the correct answer. Opposite, they ask you to change the gender means all the nouns you have to check and rewrite. That is one of the important matters. So again I explained gender system generally classified into 4 systems. One, masculine form. Second, feminine form. Then neuter form. Then common form. And to identify them, how to change them, there are 3 important steps. That all these steps already written. Now we come to yet another important area of noun. So what all, again I repeat, what all the areas now covered in noun as a nominal word from pos, noun definition over, then nouns category over, nouns NGC over, NGC, number, gender, case. Now case. How case you can, how can you write, how can you identify the case system? Anybody knows about the case system? Now our formula is n is equal to n plus g plus c. This over, this over. This is the formula. Now we are going to take a case. What case system? How do you know that case system? Anybody knows? Say case system is a very important area. Case system. We have important cases like that one, or which is called, you can copy down that, nominative case. Second one, accusative case. Third one, dative case. Fourth one, all right, nominative, accusative, dative. Fourth one, possessive, all right, possessive case. Then fifth one, vocative case. Do you come across any case system that you remember in the higher secondary level studied? In order to cover noun as a pos, parts of speech, we are going to call it word forms. Word forms. Then function words like here, now we call pos, the first element we are taking. Each element like this you have to study. Like pronoun, like adjective, like verb. All these areas to be covered from as in this method. So we call last stage case, which is called 5 categories are there, case system. Again we can formulate C into N plus A plus D plus P plus V. Alright, this is the case system formula that you keep in your mind. Again I tell you case, nominative, accusative, dative, possessive and vocative. Vocative is not that much important, but since for the completion that you keep in mind, how many case systems are there? 5. Again repeat, nominative, accusative, then dative, then possessive, then vocative. All these, after arranging the word order, you have to analyze to understand. If anybody asking you what case is written in this way, you have to point out and explain. This shows your capacity. So system should be keep in mind. Example we'll take how to identify, how to understand these all cases. You take one example. All right, we give you only examples. The cat killed a rat. One example, the cat, a rat. All right, the cat killed a rat. We are explaining all the cases. Underlined word here is familiar, that is subject. In modern grammar we call NP, that is subject. And a noun, keep in mind, a noun appears on the position of subject. Caught me? Did you get me? A noun which appears on the position of subject in a sentence is said to be nominative. Did you get? Did you understand? What did I tell you? A subject of a sentence which is a noun, when it appears on the position of subject, that is said to be nominative. So, never say subject, this is nominative case. Again opposite. Once you go for object, here rat is object. Once you write object is equal to noun, rat is a noun. Object, it is enjoying the position of object and it is a noun. And this noun, when it appears on the position of object, that is called accusative. I explained it too. Could you catch me? One nominative, one accusative. Nominative means a subject simply appears on the position of subject. Accusative means a noun simply appears on the position of object. That is why in certain grammar book it is referred objective case. Accusative case words are known as objective case. Simple, because they appear on the position of object. So once subject identify, if it is a noun, will be noun, forever be noun, but you consider it is nominative. Then directly go where in the sentence noun appearing, whether it is in the objective position, then normally the objective position noun will be accusative. Accusative means object. Objective means objective case. So nominative and accusative case over. The cat killed a rat. One example you take. The man hit the dog. The man. Another example you write. The man hit the dog. Then identify subject. Identify the subject and object. Then you will get accusative and nominative. So this one over, this one over. Now you come to dative. What is dative? Simple. The method is simple because we study modern grammar. Method is simple. Now we go to D. D stands for dative. How dative is identified? Simple. In a sentence, when you get a yes plus V plus O, sentence over. Again sometime you will get one more O. Means subject, verb, object, object. Two object possible in the VP. In the VP or after VP, in the NP, you will get a 2O. Means two objects available. Give you one example. Alright. John gave me a pen. Alright. This is supra-sentential grammarians say same sentence will get a different possible meanings. One example. Here two objects appearing. First I will explain how dative case appearing. You write John subject which is NP gave, you will write verb, you will get me object, a pen object, formula over S plus V plus O plus O, two objects available. Then you consider, once you get two objects, which object is important? Which object is important from these two? Normally, we can analyze, we can understand real noun is important. This is pronoun, this is real noun. This real noun is called direct object. If it is not real, that is indirect object. So, me is called indirect object. So, once you get two objects available, one object will be a real object. That real object will be real object, direct object. This direct object is called accusative. Earlier studied. Direct object will be accusative. Then indirect object will be dative. So, this IO or indirect object is called dative case. Did you catch me? Did you understand me? How to identify dative case? Once you get a sentence with two objects, one is direct object, one is indirect object. Once you get a direct object, that direct object is called accusative case, earlier studied. But once you get a less important object, me is less important. Once you consider to pen, without pen, John cannot give me. You may ask me, without me, how can he? He can give this pen to anybody. So pen is important. So this pen that you catch is direct object, which is called accusative, and this noun is accusative, which is direct object. Less important object is indirect object. That indirect object is dative case. Are you okay? Do you understand? Are you okay? Very good. So again, suprasentential grammarians see, this is related to, all right, what you study in phonology, that your teacher will teach you later. Once you make a stress on pen, how do you see? John gave me a pen. Pen is stressed. Pen means what? Nothing else but pen. Am I right? So, according to the stress and the intonation, meaning will be analyzed in this way. John gave me a pen. Pen is stressed. It means nothing else. No other thing but pen. Again, you stress this. Me, different meaning. You look. John gave me a pen. Me, not others. Not you, not him. But John gave me a pen. Me only. Stressing. Again, you stress here, without me, without pen. John gave me pen, not anybody else. So, this area also related to suprasentential grammarians. So, that you have to study. So, our point is that what is nominative, what is accusative, what is dative, then what is P? P stands for possessive. You know, possessive is somewhat technical, that you, once you are now listening, you remember your high school and higher secondary grammar, right? You follow, right? In the same way, once you go to possessive, it shows possession. Possessive means possession. All right. Example, you write possessive. All right. You will get two divisions. Possessive we have in suprasentential TG grammar or phrase structure grammar. They give two dimensions. One is called, instead of some people say possessive case has a different name. That is called genitive case. What is called genitive case? Genitive case. What is genitive case? Genitive case is possessive case divided into two categories. One is yes, one is of. That you have to keep in mind. Very important. Possessive case, possessive as genitive and of genitive available. So you have to keep in memory two divisions are. Once you get a word, example, once you get a word showing the position, Example, I have, all right, my house. One example, all right. I have my house. This my stands for here possession. So words showing possession. My, his, ours, like any word that shows possession, you possessive case. So in a sentence, you can easily identify possessive words, and these possessive words will be termed as possessive case. And another division is called yes possession and of possession. How to identify this? How to easily identify? Keep in mind, yes possession or yes genitive used only with animated nouns. What is the meaning of animated nouns? Nouns having life. Never use of as a genitive with the animated nouns. We never use, or grammarians won't allow it. So we use yes is different from of, or of is different from yes, because yes apostrophe yes only used with the animated nouns. Example, John is famous. John's cousin. All right, John's cousin, apostrophe yes. This is called a yes possession, yes possessive case, yes genitive. What speciality I told? This yes apostrophe yes or yes genitive, yes possessive case used only with a person who has life. Means of can be used only with the inanimated objects. Inanimated objects means we can never say legs, or we can never say table's leg. This is wrong. Table's leg. Table has no life. Inanimated nouns. Leg has no life. So we never use table's leg. We use leg of the table. All right. Leg of the table. So what I try to give you, or what effort I take you to make you understand, yes genitive is different from of genitive. Yes is with the animated nouns, of with the inanimated nouns. So case system, nominative over, accusative over, dative over, possessive over. Possessive has two dimension, S dimension, then of dimension. Then vocative. This is not very important, but still for the completion that you keep in mind. You call somebody Raju, calling somebody Raju, Peter, John, come here, John, come here. That calling name is called vocative. So we can make a brief summary. What did we do in the today's class? We again reached the area of the last segment of nominal system, noun system, and we reached after number system. Then we reached the entire last segment, what is called NGC, number, gender, case. The number so far discussed in the previous class. Today we ended to gender. Gender, we have 5 dimensions, 5 areas classification. One is masculine, one is feminine, one is neuter, one is common. Then like that. Then later we jumped to case system. Again we have case formula, keeping nominative, accusative, dative, possessive and vocative. All these cases. Then how we can identify nouns. Now how can we identify nouns? Nouns can be identified nominative case when it is written in the subject position, it is called nominative. When it is written on the object position, it is called accusative. When you get 2 nouns on the object position on NP, you will get a direct object and indirect object. Indirect object will be always dative case in the sentence. The possibility of dative case In advance, I tell you, you can easily make two transformation once you get a passive construction. Example, you get one, it's John killed, John gave him a present. You get two objects. Means you can write two passive construction in the transformation area. Means, a pen was given to him by John, you can write. He was given a pen by John, you can write. So both are possible, and with the indirect object starting passive construction is more important. So these are the possible methods that we say. After dative, then you go to possessive, then you go to vocative. That is the area of noun. Means in the pos of word forms, then you write now finish n, totally n, areas, all areas of n, then slowly you go to Pn. Alright, Pn. Pn means what? Pronoun. This pronoun area very important. You can easily draw a diagram. Means we want to take all the pos area. I give you what is the method of modern grammar by which you can easily attend with the foundation of the traditional grammar. You can easily go through Pn area. Which all the areas of Pn you have to keep in mind. Pn means pronoun, second category of pos, which area deals with the first one. Alright, personal pronouns, that is called PPN. Alright, PPN. What is meant by PPN? Personal pronouns. What is meant by pronoun? Noun, a word used instead of a noun. You write John, instead that you write he. The pronoun over. Like that, instead of a noun, we keep a word that is pronoun. So pronouns are classified. First classification is PPN. What is PPN? Easily identified. You divide them into three. Alright. First one. Alright. What is called first person, then second person, then third person. Alright. What is simply thing? Then again, this first person will be divided to S and P. Alright. Single thing. Very simple. S and P mean singular, then plural. Again you write second person into to S and B. Third one also S and P. This first one, PPN, first person, S and P. You write example I. Alright, opposite, plural, you will get V. Opposite, you will get V. So, PPN, second, you will get U and U, plural. When you write plural and singular, same. Plural and singular, same in English. But in Hindi is different. Hindi, instead of you, plural and singular, different you write. So, S and B. In Hindi, three words are possible. Aap, tum, tu. Like three possible words are there. But here, S and B is same. Suppose we say, all of you get out. That you stand for plural. Like that you keep in mind. All these are traditional concepts that you keep in mind. Then third person singular, you will get a he. Then you will get a she. Alright. Opposite, plural, you will get a they. So this is the method. So all these areas that you keep in mind when you get a plural concepts, then change from one position to another position. Methods going on like that. So this keep around once you can write. And here these all the nominative cases except you. You can be used as accusative as well as nominative. But all other words here written nominative means what? You can write them only on the position of subject. So in accusative case and objective case, what forms you will write? Again you ask. Then you can write in the bracket. Here may will be accusative form. Here us will be accusative form. You same. He and she. Alright. Here him. Alright. Here her will be accusative. Here them will be accusative. Means the words written in the bracket, you can use it on the object case, means accusative case, or words written in the brackets are known as accusative forms. Words written out of the bracket means these words are nominative. Written words in the brackets are called accusative. So all these concepts you have to keep. Normally, after that PPN, another division is called IPN. IPN. What is IPN? All these labels are for the convenience of learning that you keep. So after PPN, then you reach, after PPN, you reach same diagram, IPN. Impersonal pronoun. Impersonal pronoun means what? Not personal, not related to person. Then how the diagram will look like? Again you divide to 3. Alright, first, second, third. Here S and P. Here S and P. Here S and P. Singular, plural. Singular, plural. Singular, plural. Means what? Here modern grammarians say not possible. Here not possible. Here not possible. But once you reach third person, possible. First one is this, second one is that, third one is it. This is a singular form, will be plural this. That will be plural form those. Okay, so IPN possible only 2 or 3, this, that, it. Then they will have. So we classified PPN, we classified pronoun, first personal pronouns into 2 categories. One is PPN. PPN means personal pronoun system. They classify into 3 categories. First person, second person, third person. Divisions are given there. Following that you reach IPN, automatically you will get impersonal pronouns, and they are classified in this way. And again we reach after personal pronouns. After personal pronouns we reach categories. Category of pronoun. Alright, category of pronoun. How you reach category of pronoun? How many categories are there? Categories means types. How many categories are there? Category of pronoun. Important categories of pronoun that you study. First one, concepts of pronoun. Then first one is reflexive one. How identify reflexive? Second one, emphatic. Alright. Third one, you copy down, reflexive, emphatic, and demonstrative. Alright, demonstrative. Then next, indefinite. Indefinite pronoun. Indefinite pronoun. Then distributive pronoun. Distributive pronoun. Then interrogative pronoun. Interrogative pronoun. Then last one, relative pronoun. Relative pronoun. So look here, category of pronoun coming in 7 categories. All these you have to understand first, which all them areas. First one, reflexive and emphatic, almost connected. Then demonstrative, indefinite, distributive, interrogative, and relative pronoun. This relative pronoun is also very complicated area and useful area in the future. You have to study. I will try to explain, as you know that you studied all these areas in the higher secondary level, what is called reflexive and emphatic pronoun. Reflexive and emphatic pronoun, they are otherwise known as self pronoun. self-pronoun. Reflexive and emphatic pronouns are generally known as self-pronouns. Alright, when singular, you use self. When plural, you use selves. Alright, so example, there identify, or one example that you keep in mind. Alright, he hanged, hanged himself. Beautiful example. He subject, hanged verb, himself object. Here you keep in mind how to identify or differentiate reflexive and emphatic. The very simple technique. Once keep in mind, once a self pronoun, keep in mind, once a self pronoun appears on the position of object, again I repeat, a self pronoun when appears on the position of object, you try to analyze, then you will get. When a self pronoun appears, self word appears on the position of subject object, it is called reflexive. Again I repeat, a self word, yourself, himself, oneself, myself, any self word appears on the position of object and it enjoys the object, then it is called reflexive. Anywhere else that is used, you can label them emphatic. You give more emphasis. Example, he himself told me. He himself told me. Alright, told me. Here he subject, told verb, object, me, himself, other than all other elements, written, and also written immediately after subject. So that is emphatic. See, in order to identify emphatic from, differentiate emphatic from reflexive, you understand this is the technique. Once a self word appears on the position of object, that is called reflexive. Otherwise, emphatic. Then coming demonstrative. Demonstrative means pointing outwards. Pointing outwards. This is my pen. This is my pen. Pointing outward. Then it is called demonstrative. Indefinite words, indefinite. This is demonstrative over. Indefinite means not at all definite. Words like, you can copy down words like all, a, l. We cannot identify and count. All, some, many, few, none, etc. Words coming, they are called indefinite pronoun. Indefinite, not at all definite. Then we will go to distributive. Distribution, that you know distribution. Words like each one of you is given a prize. Each. Evade, either, neither. Each boy received a prize. Distribute. Interrogative pronoun. Interrogative means WH words. Interrogative pronoun means WH word. Here there is a problem that you keep in mind. Interrogative pronoun, it is sometimes confused with the interrogative adjective. Example, look here. Which is your pen? Example, which is your pen? Is verb. Here, this is pronoun. Once you get a verb immediately after a WH word, we can easily identify it is interrogative pronoun. It is confused with the interrogative adjective. The same sentence we can write, which pen is yours. Alright, here this which followed by pen. Pen is not like verb, pen is noun. So this noun qualified by, modified by which. So this is not interrogative pronoun, this is interrogative adjective. So interrogative pronoun often is confused with interrogative adjective. Identify immediately after verb or noun appearing. Verb appearing, pronoun. Noun appearing, adjective. That you have to keep in mind. That is called interrogative adjective. In the same way, relative pronoun coming. Relative pronoun are all WH words relative pronoun which are used for writing clauses. This is the man who inaugurated my function. This is the man who inaugurated. Another clause coming. RPN, all WH words are used as relative pronoun and they are used to make big sentences, what is called complex and compound patterns. So that will be coming later. Anyway, I give all these areas now until pronoun post system. We reached all these areas, we discussed in detail, and later next we go to the topic word order, a very big area of unit number 4 in your grammar, in the paper grammar. Till this moment, those people who attended me very carefully, I congratulate and thank you very much. Meet you.